What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming Nation presented by Fandoms Anonymous. We're glad that you guys are back with us again this week as we are heralding another episode in the Gaming Nation saga. I don't even know how many episodes we are up to now, but we're getting there, man. We're pushing, and the momentum is amazing. This week, my man Dan Brosnan out of Iowa is the showrunner this week. What's going on, Dan?
Hey, how's it going, Gaming Nation? What's up, Malcolm? What's up, Clay? What's up, Daryl? How we doing tonight?
Good. Let's do this. And join the line is my man from Tales of the Blade, Clay.
And it's Anonymous, Dan. What's going on? It's happy to be back.
What's going on? And my man from Inferno's PS4 shell play, Daryl Blackson.
What's up, guys? And, hey, happy belated Independence Day to everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves.
Happy belated 4th of July to everybody. I did not get to blow fireworks this year, but coming to, I didn't get to blow any fireworks, but don't worry, because when I come home at the end of this month, I will be shopping at the local fireworks store, and I will be blowing some stuff up. So it's coming. It's coming. And also, there's a new theme park in Foley, Alabama, that I will be going to when I come home at the end of this month. So I'm definitely excited for that. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, Dan is the showrunner this week, and Dan said, you know what, guys, let's talk about handheld video games. You know, there are so many video games that were handheld that we can talk about. Let me just go down a couple of few. And I think there's going to be one that's left out that I'm going to mention, but I'm not going to mention right now. I'm going to see if everybody else agrees with me later on in this show. So we got your Game Boys, your PSPs, your Nintendo DSs and Game Boy Advances, and just many, many, many favorite handheld games. So I'm going to start with our showrunner this week. Dan, what's your favorite and least favorite handheld game?
All right. So my favorite has to be the Nintendo DS. The system really changed the game. I mean, like, when you first got it, we were taking selfies on it before even selfies were cool, man. Like, if you think about it, all the dueling stuff, like everything, it really changed the game. And with phones, technology, there were so many great games for it. I mean, when they did the reboot of the new Super Mario Brothers, I believe it was called, that was great. I think it was one of the first Nintendo games we got to play online to for Mario Kart. It was great. I mean, it really helped change the game with handheld systems. There were so many games for it. I grew up on the original Game Boy Advance. When I got the DS, it was over with. I had like 100 games for it. My least favorite system, and I feel like every time we go with least favorite system, I'm always the guy hating on Sega, but I got to go with the Game Gear. I like that they were the first system with the color screen, but it was just so big, and they didn't have a good game selection over the years. They had a few good games. That was about it. So I'm going to go with the Game Gear. Back to you, bud.
Now I'm going to pass it over to Clay. Clay, go ahead and hit me with your favorite and least favorite.
Sounds good, Malcolm. Now, I want to get a little bit old school on you guys. So y'all little whippersnappers, go ahead and take a seat and get buckled in, because my man Dan just talked about the Nintendo DS and how you were taking selfies. Let me go back to the Game Boy, the original Game Boy with the Game Boy camera. I remember having that plus the printer and these little ridiculous pixelated pictures of yourself. But you know what? That's what we had back in the day. And in terms of my favorite handheld, you know, I really have to side with the Game Boy. It was big, it was clunky, sure, but it had some of the most amazing games to start off on the handheld. It was a game changer. It was a whole new thing that we had, because all we had before that were like these little like Tiger handheld games, and yeah, we played with that on the trip, or we'd have like little, you know, travel chess or whatever you had with you. But the Game Boy, when it first came out, that really set the tone for what we would know for handhelds for ages and ages and ages to come. Of course, my favorite game to play on a handheld, the original Game Boy, was Kirby. I love Kirby. I still love Kirby to this day. I wish they'd come out with some better games for Kirby, but they seem to drop the ball on that IP, but I'm not going to get into that too much. And in terms of my least favorite, you know, I've got it sitting right here in front of me, and even though it was a great idea, had amazing concepts, and yeah, for what it is, it's definitely a great little system, but it just did not get the love that it needed. It did not push the envelope that it should have, and it was overall a huge letdown. It was even more of a letdown, honestly, than the PSP, with UMD being just a media flop. The PlayStation Vita is my least favorite handheld console. It had a great idea with the innovation of the dual touch screen, both front and back, the camera, the mounted camera, the speaker system, everything about it that felt like it should have been more interactive. It wasn't. And it didn't get the love that it needed, and eventually everything that was supposed to come out as really a PS Vita specific thing eventually all went to PS4. They're like, we're just going to put it on the PS4 anyway. Who cares? That's where we're moving to. PS Vita doesn't get a whole lot of love anymore. You don't even hear about games coming out for it besides old ports coming to the new things. And even then, some of my favorite ones aren't even, coming to America. They got them on ports over in Japan, but over here in America, no. So, Malcolm, with that, I'm going to get that back over to you. That is my favorite and least favorite handheld console.
Next, I'm going to throw it over to Daryl.
Oh, well, first, my favorite. I got to pick this one as my favorite because it was like the first handheld to show me something different for the Game Boy Color. And the fact is, it was like maybe the social media aspect of it because they had their own colors to it. So you got your red one, and your buddy got his green one, and your somebody else got a purple one. So I like that concept because you felt unique. Not one of your friends had the same color Game Boy Color. No one had the same color. Everybody had a different color. And I like the uniqueness with it. And so that got to be my favorite. My least favorite is probably something nobody even knows about. I heard about it, so I got it. It was called the Engage, I think. It was by Nokia. It was kind of like a hybrid with a handheld and a cell phone. It just promised so much stuff, and it just didn't live up to it. I mean, when you try to get on the internet, it was laggy. I mean, it was just, at that time, it was just in black and white also. So the Engage was pretty much my worst handheld I ever bought, and I hate I bought that. So I'm going to pass it over back to you, Malcolm.
I remember you had that Engage crap.
I thought you were
going to brought that. Yeah, I looked at you like you was the dumbest person on earth.
Oh, man. See, I didn't want to go into details because I figured you was going to remember it.
You should have known. As soon as you said those 4 letters, I knew what was going on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got talked about so bad.
Man, that thing was horrible.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I was the butt of everybody's joke for a long time by buying that system. So that's why I hate it.
Now, I said I was going to have a sleeper topic and nobody was going to be able to get, but my man Clay spoiled it for me. Clay, do you remember something that you said not too long ago about a certain handheld game?
And which one are we talking about? If I can remember off the top of my head,
You mentioned one that was very, very synonymous, and they made billions of titles for it.
We talking about Mario?
When you talk about Mario, we're talking about a handheld system. You mentioned it not too long ago.
I'm not even going to lie, man. I forgot.
It's the Tiger Electronic Handheld System.
Oh, yes.
For you young kids out there, you don't know a game until you had a Tiger. Tiger made games for every last single thing on television, comic books, movies, and DVD home VHS tapes. You guys don't understand. Tiger used to make stuff for Disney, for Nickelodeon, Power Rangers had Tiger Game. Marvel had Tiger Game. DC had Tiger Game. There were hundreds and hundreds of Tiger Games, different colors, shapes, and sizes. I remember I had a Power Rangers Tiger Game. I had a Batman the Animated Series Tiger Game, and it was purple and green, yellow buttons. It was some of the best games ever. Now, granted, everything was all in white and black with a color, sometimes a color background, but Tiger Games, those things were collectibles. Those things were amazing collectibles because you could go just about any pharmacy, like your CVS, your Walgreens. For you got old school people like me, K&B. You can go to KB Toys, Toys R Us sold them, Walmart sold them, Kmart sold them. All of those different places sold those type of games, man, and you just can't beat a good Tiger game. A good Tiger game was always amazing. Now, when I say my least favorite, I don't really think I have a least favorite because I only played a few handheld games in my lifetime. I had the Game Boy Color. I had the Game Boy SP. I had the Game Boy Advance. I had a PSP. I didn't have a DS, though. So, I don't have a least favorite because all of those I played vigorously. I played every last one of them. You know, I didn't discriminate either against neither one of them. So, me, I don't have a least favorite. But we're going to jump on to our next topic.
Wait a minute. What about the Digimon game you had? That's handheld.
The Digimon game?
Uh-huh.
I never had a Digimon game.
You did have a Digimon game over your house. The little Digimon game sitting on your dresser. Yes, you did have a Digimon game.
I don't remember a Digimon game, there. That's not a recollection.
I remember.
You're gonna have to pull up some type of footage online from somebody else who had the Digimon game, but I definitely don't remember having a Digimon game.
Digimon Monsters.
I'll talk to AJ and I'll talk to Nick, and then we'll figure this out, okay? So we're going to keep on moving.
Now, hang on. I do want to interject something real quick. Now, we were just on the subject of LCD few frame games like the Tiger games. Daryl brought up Digimon, and we're talking about digital pets. Remember those? Tamagotchi, Digipets, Digimon, Digipets?
Oh, yeah, Tamagotchi.
Okay, yeah, you just said you didn't have one. You had one. I told you, see?
You said Digimon, not a Tamagotchi.
It's the same thing, okay? We'll chill out.
It's definitely not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. You should be banned from this show for saying it's the same thing.
Well,
Tamagotchi and Digimon is definitely not the same thing.
Well, Tamagotchi was Digimon, so Tamagotchi, you know.
Who did not have a Tamagotchi pet? Who did not have multiple Tamagotchi pets that we killed every day because we couldn't take it to school, and when we got back home, it was dead? Like, who didn't have a Tamagotchi?
I don't want to say it out loud, but yeah, I have that one.
We know you had one there.
Okay, yeah, remember I beat you on the fight test me you had, and I beat you. I beat your pet. Whichever one it was.
There, you sure? You like to bring up false accusations of stuff and never have good evidence to back it up. We had to correct your Digimon and your Tamagotchi, but let's get back on track with the show. Our next topic we want to talk about is favorite game from any handheld system. So we're going to play what I call hot potato. So when one guy finishes, pass it on to the next guy. So I'm going to start off with my favorite game from any handheld system. Now, I have a couple, but I will say one game that I thoroughly enjoyed playing on my handheld system, and that was Midnight Club Dub Edition on the PSP. That game was off the chain. I would play that from all sun up to sundown. Midnight Club on the PSP, Dub Edition. Just like playing Midnight Club on the PlayStation or whatever, and I used to go in on that game. And I love the PSP. I love the PSP because it was a very interactive system. I could get on the internet on it. You can watch movies on the PSP. Like they had PSP discs with movies because I used to have Talladega Nights on the PSP. So the PSP did a lot. So I'm gonna pass it on to Clay. What was your favorite game?
Malcolm, running with you on the PSP vibe, man. I dug the heck out of it. I like the fact that a lot of old PS1 games eventually made themselves onto the PSP in terms of, updated graphics and even that, it's like, people think, well, it's a handheld, so you would think they wouldn't have updated graphics, but in fact it had a better processor than even the PlayStation 1 initially did. So it could update the graphics and even add things like in the case of my game, Star Ocean Second Evolution, animate cutscenes, voice acting, a whole new combat system. The whole thing was revamped. And so, of course, me being a huge Star Ocean buff, especially Star Ocean 2, that was honestly my favorite handheld game. But just what they were able to accomplish with it on the PSP was amazing. So I really got to give it to that. Dan, what are you looking at, man?
Oh, man, I did love the PSP. Great system. Like I said in previous episodes, I really like to play sports games, and PSP was the first system that really gave us an outlet to play sports games in, like, somewhat of a realistic-looking game. But I have to go back to Nintendo. There's a point in 2005, they decided to drop Mario Kart on us, and it kind of looked like pretty much the version of the N64, but we got online, and I swear I played like 500 hours of that game. I had like 400 and like 300 record, like I was trying. I was hooked. I played that game. I think I got rid of that game like a year ago. Like I played that game. Huge fan of Mario Kart. But like you guys said, love the PSP, but I got to go with Mario Kart. Now, Daryl, what was your pick, brother?
Man, I have to go with Clay and Malcolm with the PSP, one of my most favorite games. Okay, the reason why I got to pick this game is because of where it led up to. I used to love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, my family used to love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But the biggest problem we had in Yu-Gi-Oh! is everybody want to read the card and make the card work in their favor. So if you do a good move, you say, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. And we try to find the rules, you can't find the rules, so it's a big argument. And on the PSP, there's a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force. I think that's what it's called. And, man, I love that game. And then you can link up with your friends and play Yu-Gi-Oh! But now, ain't no arguing going on because you do a good move, okay, somebody can say you can't do that move, you can't do that move. So, man, that game was like the best game. And then, and another thing about that game was, it's like you started off as your own character. You didn't play as Yugi, you didn't play as Jaden, you didn't play as nobody but yourself. You make your own character and you're in that world. And you collect your cards, you build your deck. I mean, if y'all haven't played the game, y'all should definitely try it. So that's what I'm going with. It's my favorite game, handheld game, is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX for the PSP. I'll take it to Malcolm.
Awesome. We're going to keep the momentum going, and we're going to keep paying this hot potato. It's like the little game we like to play on Gaming Nation. And our next topic is going to be, who has the better handheld system right now, the PS Vita or the 3DS? Now, this is a very broad topic, and this is something that we always talk about on Gaming Nation. And it's a point I always make. Nintendo doesn't care what anybody else is doing except for Nintendo. So with that, I really can't say who has the best because these two systems do two different things. Now, I've actually never played a PS Vita. I have played a 3DS. I'm more partial to Nintendo. I love PlayStation, but I'm more partial to Nintendo. So I'm going to let Dare start off with this.
Well, it's like this. Okay, I'm somebody who owns both systems. Obviously, PlayStation is a more powerful system. It's way more powerful. I mean, you can do anything on it. But Nintendo got the support. The PS Vita has no support at all. You have no games. So you got all this powerful system, but what can you do with it? It's like having a bazooka with no ammunition. What you going to do with it? You got this amazing weapon, but you have no ammunition. So, okay, of course you're going to lose. Okay, and your friend got a handgun. Okay, well, my gun's more powerful, but you don't have anything to use it with. So I got to go with 3DS because the 3DS has the support. So I'm going to pass it over to Dan.
You know what? I think you're right, Daryl. I think when it comes to the specs of it, the PS Vita, I'm sorry, they do have the better console. When it comes to the games, though, excuse me, I think it's all about the Nintendo 3DS. I mean, they hit you with the fun factor. They already have all the IPs that you love and you're going to buy. Your Smash Brothers, your Marios, your Kirby's. I mean, the list goes on and on. The PS Vita that kind of ticked me off was I was thinking about buying one a couple years ago. And then I noticed that they didn't have any sports games. And I was like, well, that's not a good starter because the PSP was so much fun because I got to play like NFL Street on it and all these different games like college. And then they give us the Vita and there's no sports games. You don't get any of that. And so I could tell that they weren't really trying to market their games at a full. I mean, with Nintendo, you don't get a bunch of sports games, but they like to chop it up and give you something new every single year. So I have to go with the 3DS right now. Now, Clay, what do you got to say, bud?
Dan, Daryl, I do not want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, I just spoke earlier about the PS Vita and the lack of games, the lack of support. And honestly, what they're trying to drive it with right now is really more of a system that you can do remote play on. You can jump on your PS3 or PS4, and even then, that's extremely limited because of the use of the shoulder buttons. But it's not doing anything. It's literally become more or less a paperweight on my desk that I once in a while jump on and see what new ports are coming out, and that's really about it. So, yeah, all my love goes to the 3DS, especially with some of the titles they've pushed out recently. And I know this is an older title, but, oh, my God. Actually, no, it came out a couple of years back. It's The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which, of course, Link to the Past is one of those games from my childhood that I was always vibing on. It was one of the greatest Legend of Zelda games, and they came out with this game for the 3DS and 2DS, and what they put into it for what the 3DS could do and what it could really operate behind, it was a fantastic game. It wasn't even about how powerful the system was so much as just everything that went into what the system could run off that game was incredible. And so, yeah, all my love goes to 3DS in that case. Malcolm, on back to you, bro.
And it's back to me. So, one of the next topics that I thought is very, very interesting is one of my favorites. What's better, iOS, iPhone games, or Android? Now, of course, I have an Android. I'm holding it in my hand now. This is what I'm talking to you guys on. I prefer Android. Number one, I don't like iPhone. iPhone, a lot of stuff you may have to pay for. Yeah, does anybody on the line have an iPhone?
No, not me.
See? All team Android on this show tonight. So that should tell you something. I can get a game on my Android. I can download a backlog game on my Android. For an example, Pokemon Go was not out or what's the word I'm looking for, set up for the Samsung Galaxy S3. When Pokemon Go came out, that's the phone I had. But there's a good old thing called APK, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And I was able to download Pokemon Go and still play Pokemon Go on that handheld device. So I prefer Android. We really can't speak for iPhone, so it looks like it's going to be 4-0 for the iOS because I love my games on Google Play. I just do. So I'm going to pass it over to Daryl. What's up, Daryl?
Well, it's like you said, the reason why I got to go with Android because you don't have that many limitations. With Apple, you got so many limitations. It traps you right here. You got to stay in that circle, okay? With Android, you don't got to stay in one circle, okay? I can go here, I can go there, I can go anywhere I want to go. With Apple, yeah, Apple makes good products, but you're limited, okay? So I can do a whole lot, but I mean, I only can do a whole lot in this little bit tiny circle I'm in. So that's why I got to go with Android. I mean, Android just, avoids all that red tape. So to me, Android, I picked that one. What about you, Clay?
Man, every good game, as far as for the mobile devices that I've seen come out, has honestly been for Android. There hasn't been a whole lot that's come out for iOS that I've been sitting here going, ooh, I got to go get me an iPhone. No, it's all like I got to upgrade my smartphone because, well, the one I have right now is a potato. So I just everything that I've seen just blows my mind for what Google Play is coming out with and what Android is capable of nowadays. And it makes me very sad that I don't have a phone that can run most of it, or maybe I'm country locked because a lot of games that are over in Japan are phenomenal that I've seen for mobile devices, and hopefully they'll come over here at some point in time in their life. But I'm not going to hold my breath. Dan, how about you, man?
Oh man, if you want the bang for your buck, bro, you're gonna go with the Android. Because I know when I was out shopping a year ago, phone shopping, I think it was the iPhone 6S was out, and I had the iPhone 5S at the time. Before that, I had Samsung. I'm down to try something new. I learned from the iPhone. It's like this. The iPhone is like the suburbs. They're nice, but they're all the same. You can't be original. Like the Samsung or Android is your brick house with a 2-car garage that looks different than everything else. You can add, attach anything you want to it. You want some more memory? Go ahead, throw it right in there. When it comes to the games, I mean, some of these screens, like I know when I got the S7, I got that because there was no better screen, brighter screen, better resolution at the time than the S7. So, or the Samsung Galaxy S7. Great phone. The 8's out now. They're having a few problems, but I heard they're working it out. But I have to go all day with Android.
Most definitely. So that let you guys know that Android is 4-0 over it on Gaming Nation. So we're going to move on to our last topic. And our last topic is the future of handheld gaming. I feel like the future is already here. And I feel like the Wii U and the Switch have shown us what the future of handheld gaming is. Yes, you can leave your home and play a PS Vita. Now, I want to ask this question because I'm not too keen about the PS Vita. Does it connect to your games on your PlayStation system? Could I leave the house with my PS Vita and finish playing Grand Theft Auto when I'm in the car? Can anybody answer that?
Absolutely, yes, you can. As long as your PS4 is connected to any kind of internet network, then your Vita, wherever it connects to, can connect to the PS4 at your home and pick up on whatever save file you had. But the problem with it is that the trigger buttons, the R2 and L2 buttons, they're not accessible on the PS Vita because all the PS Vita has are shoulder buttons. So if any game that has that has a different interface that it requires for those particular buttons, so it makes things a little bit awkward and kind of difficult. That's why it's just not really a good look.
Well, you can use the touchpad on the back of the Vita to use for those shoulder buttons and the touchpad.
Yeah,
yeah, but I didn't know you can you can remote play that far away. It limits me. I'm sorry, in my living room. Every time I try to go out, it cuts off. But I didn't know you can do it that far.
Dude, I was all the way across town playing my PS4 at a restaurant I was at that night just to show off to my brother.
Okay. So I didn't know that. So good information I just learned.
So we learned something new on Gaming Nation. So, Clay, I'm going to hand it over to you then.
I'm going to have to agree 100% with you on that one, Malcolm. I think that the Nintendo Switch has really kind of stepped it up in terms of innovation. And, of course, Nintendo, all day with the innovation. And the ability to turn a console into a handheld device by simply just, picking it up out of the cradle and putting these controls on the side of it, I think that's absolutely brilliant. I thought the concept was interesting and very innovative. It it has some design flaws right now. Like I've noticed a lot of people are having to find ulterior meetings or motives of or means. Let me get my right word here. Of keeping it cool while it's sitting on the docking cradle, because it doesn't really seem to have an internal cooling system that's adequate enough to keep it going over longer periods of time. But I think after they get past that, then I think a lot of systems will be able to pick up that particular motif or come up with something gimmicky alongside that. Maybe one day we'll all have Omni tools like they do in Mass Effect, we'll say. But I think that's honestly where it feels like this is going. It definitely feels like that is the future of handhelds. Daryl, how about you, bro?
For me, I can't say what a future is going to hold because, like you said about with the Nintendo, like it has a problem with cooling. Okay, how it bends a certain way if it gets too hot. You can't really put a cooling system in a handheld and take it around. So I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of thinking is this is where we at? Can we go farther than what we have now? I mean, as of right now, I don't see it. So I'm kind of worried about the future. I'm like, does handhelds have a future? Or have we seen everything? But technology has shown us so much stuff right now, so I could be wrong. But I'm kind of worried about the future of handheld. I just hope that they stick with handheld and it's not just a hybrid. Like, it's only meant to play your games from your home on the go. I like the fact that, that Vita games and DS games are different from their the main system. Like you might got your Mario Kart on the DS is different from the Mario Kart is on the Switch or the Wii U. So I just hope that they, stay handheld, stay in that zone of handheld. What do you think about Dan?
Oh, man, okay, so you guys just gave me a bunch of ideas. But what if they threw it all together? Like times keep changing, right? So what about this? So you take the point that Malcolm and Clay were making, everything's going to be on this next system. But then you take the fact that, like Clay was saying, with the Vita, it runs off your network. But then let's just for once throw in the directional point of a Pokemon Go game. So imagine we're just walking around outside. Oh, I got my Switch, my tablet, and I'm out there catching Pokemon in 1080p, bud.
That sounds good.
That would be insane. Like, I don't really play Pokemon Go like that. I played it the first few months it came out, but I think that's a good little point. The directional, the map quest games, how are they going to route that into the games now? Because now that everything's running off our phones, that might be the next step,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Another point to consider with that, running like Pokemon Go, which is actually an augmented reality system. You look at a game like Watch Dogs, where everything runs off of the cell phones now, and you see more integration with mobile devices and augmented reality being the future of video games. Then, I mean, that's actually a very good point to make, and especially with larger devices like higher running tablets and things like that, so you could run it in 1080p or even 4K.
Yeah, I'm starting to see more games do this also with the companion app, like Watch Dogs, like how you can use your mobile device to be like a second player on Watch Dogs, or it's a lot of games that have like companion apps. So that's another thing to consider too.
Like the Division with the companion app for the drone that you can run it with your teammates.
Yeah, there's so many good ideas to it. I mean, you could think about it, you're walking around with your little Switch or whatever you got, and you just see somebody, you're like, if someone's around you, you guys just start battling in any game, I think that could be another cool part, like who's around you, location.
Guys, we have definitely had an amazing conversation today about handheld gaming. Handheld games, man, I definitely love this. Thank you, Dan, for our show this week. Next week, my man Clay from Tales of the Blade will be our showrunner, so stay tuned for our new episode coming out next week. My man Dan, where can everybody find you?
Y'all can find me on YouTube, D-BROZ, D-Braz, or you can find me on Facebook, D-BROZ, D-Braz, or Dan Brosnan, for Press Play Entertainment.
My man Daryl, where can everybody find you, man?
You can find me on Inferno Chef Play. Find me on the Facebook chat. Trust me, y'all, I'm going to get my cousin AJ and my brother Nick, and we're going to talk about what, I told you about Malcolm. So if y'all stay tuned to the Facebook chat, y'all going to see it.
Everybody forgot it. Everybody forgot that already. I'll pass it over to Clay from Tales of the Blade.
Guys, you know where you can find us, youtube.com/Tales of the Blade, TAILS, not a typo, it's just ironic. You can catch different Let's Plays that we've done, especially with Star Ocean series, like I keep mentioning tonight. We even do one from PSP, Star Ocean Second Evolution. Swing by, check that out. Hit like, subscribe. Guys, come check us out. It's always a good time.
Most definitely, guys. If you don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media. Right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future videos. Also, head over there to Facebook, where we're on the Facebook group. Join the group where we have discussions each and every single day. And hit the like on the Facebook fan page. Also, head over there to Instagram, where we're at Fandoms_Anonymous17. Got a lot of stuff coming up on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. Plenty more stuff. Plenty of announcements. Got some contests coming up. Got some great collaborations coming up tomorrow night. Me and my man Gary, we're going to see Spider-Man Homecoming, so stay tuned. I know you guys saw our review of Transformers last night. We got over 400 views on that video, man. I just checked it today, so we're definitely going to bring you another review tomorrow night with Spider-Man Homecoming. But, guys, as I always say, if there's anything else, thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Fandoms Anonymous.